Hello. I would ask you to take a deep breath and that wonderful sigh. Let the breathing come back to normal. Eyes opening. Hello, my name is Drake, and this is Touching the Edge, and this is the 40-day invitation to genius. We're halfway through. Life works that way. It seems so long, and yet it's so short. But if we recognize that, if we recognize how quick life goes and the ability to realize that one stage to the next is always an opportunity for genius to express itself, because we don't know what the next stage will be like. We've seen people grow older, or we've seen things happen in the past, but it's not the same as you going through it. Seeing other people with children is not the same as you having a child. And so with all the challenges that come up, there's always the need for genius as we are faced with the unknown. And so, it reminds me of a video that I recently saw of a gentleman who was a POW survivor from World War II. And he was talking about the fact that he was a very, very young man at the time, and he was talking to an older man that seemed so much wiser, who was only 28 at the time. And he told the story of this man telling him to do some very specific things so that he could get through this really trying experience of being in a POW camp. He described how this man told him to make sure that he shaved and to wash his socks. He said shaving was a lot more challenging than it might seem, because there was only one razor for 30 people and there was no hot water. So shaving was very painful. They had no hot water for socks. It was very, very cold. So, taking the socks off and washing them and hanging them up to dry was very challenging. But this young man did what this older person suggested that he do. And he said what ended up happening was that was the crucial element that got him through the POW camp. Simply shaving and washing his socks. It set up a success that gave him hope. Instead of continually focusing in areas where he didn't feel like he had any control, and instead of continually focusing in areas where he felt like hopeless, like there was no chance of them getting through this incredibly dire situation, they broke it down to very small details that they had control over. This is what we're talking about in the invitation to genius. Finding some area of your life that you can pour your energy into, that you have control over. A knitting project, learning to play an instrument, some element. The hobby of learning to calm down and learning how to manifest a more hopeful attitude. These are all part of creating this relationship to feeling powerful rather than powerless. So in this day of the 40 days, this day of the 40-day invitation to genius, consider activating that power that you have control over, because it will end up affecting those areas that you don't feel like you have control, and you may find that you have more control than you thought. So thank you for touching the edge with me here today. Thank you for inspiring me to continue to explore genius in my own life, because I know that if we don't limit ourselves, there is no end to what we can possibly accomplish. I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. Here we go. Let's do it today. Let's do something today that makes us feel more empowered in our lives. I bring my hands into prayer position and I bow to you, because I know you are the genius that we're looking for. Namaste.